Hi, it's Becky from the Foxy Nail Boutique, and are you ready for fall? Maybe more importantly, are you ready for some delicious warm fall drinks? Even if you're not, let's just dive into the fall themed season. Maybe you'll get some inspiration, as I was, by the iconic pumpkin spice latte drink. So let's not delay and get right into making this set of nails. A bunch of these colors are from kits that I recently purchased and reviewed on one of my nail haul videos, and I will put links in the description box for all the items that I used today, including these medium tip almond shaped nails. And also I'm going to be using today this really beautiful set of nail art brushes from Beetles that my sister had recently sent to me as a surprise. And here are all the different sizes and millimeters of the bristles. And again, I will list that in the description. So I will be trying them out today for the first time. All right, to get right into it, I am doing 2 coats of this perfect orange that is like the iconic pumpkin color for the season. One of the things that's unique about this set of nails that I created is that it's a complete freestyle. And normally, if you watch my other videos, I tend to like to pre-plan. I draw sketches, I list colors, the paint brands I'm going to use, the charms and whatnot. But for this particular set of nails, I knew I wanted to incorporate fall colors. And here I'm trying to design and draw a coffee mug, but I wanted to use this really pretty kind of mossy green color in order to tie that into some more of the fall theme. So originally when I was going to create this set of nails, it was just going to be like a general coffee theme. It wasn't going to have really anything to do with pumpkin spice latte. It just so happens that I enjoy basically any kind of coffee there is out there in any shape or form, hot, cold, you name it. So I thought, well, it's coming around the time here of fall and I want to get this coffee set of nails done. And it turned out to be so much more fun, and I was able to use, several different products that I have in my stash, and I just had such a great time putting this together. And as you see here, I'm doing a second coat of that mossy green, and it's just such a great complement to the, bright orange background. And I thought that this would really stand out on a set of nails. And I like having, the larger image on the thumbnail because, you're going to see more of it with, being on that finger. And I decided that just, the way I had the mug, it needed a handle. So I kind of wish I had painted this image a little, further up on the nail, a little closer to like the cuticle line instead of the, free edge. And now we're going to come in and fill up this cup of coffee all the way to the brim. And I started out by doing just a single layer of this perfect like chocolatey brown. And of course, between each layer and each color, I'm curing for 30 to 60 seconds, depending on whether it's the first layer or second layer of the polish. And then I also, off to the side, I do always keep a cleanup brush and a little bit of isopropyl alcohol in like a dapping dish. And then I have my 2x2 lint-free cotton squares also to wipe my brushes off on. So as I'm coming in and finishing off, I'm just making sure that the brown goes all the way up to the edge of the green so that there's no orange peeking through. And after I did the first coat of that chocolatey brown, I came in and I added in a second layer, but I didn't cure it this time. And I grabbed some of this creamy colored white and tried to do a little bit of an oval. And then I took one of my dotting tools, my really skinny one, and then I just dragged it, as you see that I did there, dragged it from the top down. And then I came in and added another layer. So I'm trying to do that, kind of heart swirl that you would see on a latte. And after I got it just perfect, I cured it. And then here I'm taking some of the Beetles glossy top coat and putting a dab of it onto my resin tray there. and then I'm grabbing some cat eye. And this is like a silvery, I want to say it does have like a silver undertone to it, but it's a mocha brown color, and it's from a brand called ABAC. And my original plan was to take that cat eye and mix it with some of the glossy top coat and create the steam that's kind of rising off of that hot cup of coffee. And you'll see in a minute that I ended up kind of changing plans with that. But here I'm taking some black gel polish, and I'm using a really, really fine liner brush and painting around the whole perimeter of the coffee mug so that it stands out a little bit sharper. This is where I changed my mind, and I instead grabbed this glitter that I had from a Beetles kit, and it's really cool glitter because it has gold in it, but the underlying kind of base color to it is like a sheer almost orange. Another thing that I incorporated in the set of nails is some fun fall stickers. I purchased them last month and I have been so excited to use them. So I'm really, really like pumped that fall is finally here. And I decided that on the pointer finger, I will do that creamy colored base, and I did 2 coats of that. And while it's curing, I jumped in and did the middle finger as, you know, entirely in that really cool glitter that you saw me use earlier as part of the coffee steam above the coffee mug. So I was curing both of those, and then what I decided is that I think on the pointer finger I wanted to do all fall leaves. It can be time consuming to take your time and paint all those leaves. So stickers kind of add a fun and efficient way for you to really jazz up your nails, and some of them look so realistic. I mean they look like they're hand painted. So I picked out 3, and you see here on the middle finger, the pumpkin is perfect. It was already rounded on the sticker sheet, so I just had to peel it off and line it up over top of the free edge of the nail. And then these fall leaves are gorgeous. They're just like the perfect gradation of yellows and deep orange. And then I decided just to add a little sparkle, I would dot some of that glitter nail polish on there and just kind of brush it around onto the leaves so that there's a touch of sparkle. And I cleaned up because it kind of went a little crazy and got some on the background. And then I cured that for 60 seconds. And since I added some sparkle to that one nail, I decided to dip back into the glitter and go ahead and add some highlights to the other sticker, because I figured this is such a whimsical set of nails that adding a little glitter here and there is really going to make them pop. But honestly, the fall sticker set that I am using is really eye-catching, and I feel like they could stand alone even if you just put them on like a solid cream set of nails, or even something that's a little richer like a deep green or chocolatey brown. But here I just wanted to add a bunch of variety. Moving along to the ring finger, as you can see, I am doing a second coat of the gorgeous pumpkin color, and I cure that each for 60 seconds. And then once that is all done, then I decided on this nail I would do kind of the iconic, typical, you know, disposable carton type coffee cup that you would get, you know, at any coffee shop. And with each of my nail sets, I do like to prep them beforehand. So I typically file with a 280 grit nail file over the entire top surface of the nail. And then I use a 180 grit nail file to smooth the free edge of the nail to remove any little plastic bits that may be clinging on there from when the nails were manufactured. So that is kind of how I prep them ahead of time. And then I also apply a single coat of base gel from Beetles, and it's their foundation gel polish, and I cure that for 60 seconds. At this point, I also want to mention that any of the brands that you see me using right now, or any of the brands that I mentioned, I am not currently sponsored by them, and I purchased all these products with my own money. Speaking of purchases, I have a few more items that I did order off of Amazon and Amazon Haul that have arrived, and one or two that are still coming, and hopefully I'll be able to show them to you in an upcoming video and even use the products to create a set of nails. It's kind of hard. I've been trying to pace myself. I've been trying not to over purchase because I still have so many more items that I previously revealed in nail haul videos that I still want to use and make videos for, and I can't wait to get those out. A lot of the items, of course, are from Beetles, but I have branched out and I purchased some other products from different brands. But I can't always help myself because if there's a good Beetles kit, I can't resist. So maybe pumpkin spice latte is not your go-to fall drink of choice. Maybe it's warm apple cider, or maybe you like pumpkins in some other shape or form like pumpkin pie. Well, I have a set of gorgeous fall nails for you that include hand-painted pumpkins, some dainty, very fine fall leaf stickers, and so much more. So you're gonna want to subscribe and not miss this video and my future upcoming haul videos as well. Thank you again for watching and being with me here today. All right, let's finish up this coffee mug. So this little to-go coffee mug, the cream color was from a Beetles kit called Retro Modern, which had a lot of really beautiful, soft, muted tones of like brown and cream. And here you see me coming in with one of those medium colored browns to create that little cardboard sleeve that you would have wrapped around your coffee mug. And you know what's great about using the gel polishes is that when you create something, you cure it and then you can go on to the next layer, and if you mess up on that layer, guess what? You can take a little bit of the isopropyl alcohol either on a 2x2 or a cleanup brush and just wipe it off. And I have to just say, as I was working on this set, these brushes that are from Beetles that my sister purchased for me work great. And they have such nice fine bristles. I found that it held just enough gel polish to let it glide onto the nail while I was trying to do my detailed artwork. The handle themselves were not too bulky or too heavy. It just was the right fit, and I think I would recommend for anyone looking for a fairly, inexpensively priced but good quality nail art brush to check out these Beetle ones. All right, well, getting back to the nail, I'm working here on the pinky. This one I had already laid down the cream base color, and then I had taken some of that bright pumpkin-y color and made a series of 3 diamonds down the center of it. And then I came in to do some lines and do that pattern that looks like argyle, like a pair of argyle socks or maybe an argyle tie. And this, because this pattern to me is a little bit reminiscent of the fall season and even kind of rolling over into, winter and the Christmas holiday. But I decided that this nail would kind of bring together this entire set because it would include all the different shades that you see me using here today. And after completing the pattern, I went ahead and added the final top coat, which is that Beetles glossy top coat. I wasn't quite done yet though with this ring finger. I decided to come in with some red gel polish and make very small lipstick marks on the edge of the cup, because this is what usually happens when I'm drinking my coffee. So this way I know this is definitely my cup of coffee. I left my mark on it. So as we're finishing up here, we're getting towards the end, we're going to start doing some additional embellishing and of course applying plenty of the glossy top coat. I think glossy nails just look so scrumptious. I don't know if that's the right word, but it really does. It just kind of finishes the set and it seals everything in. It adds a protective layer to it, but it just really adds that shine, puts that icing on the cake, so to speak. And here you're gonna see that when it came to the middle finger, which had that pumpkin sticker, I was a little disappointed that the pumpkin seemed to blend in too much with that glittery background. So I went ahead and grabbed some of that creamy color and just drew some highlights over top of the sticker. And then when I did that, I said, okay, well, hold on a second. It still is not standing out enough. So I grabbed some of that bright orange and I came back in and did an underline there, some shadowing. And that way you could see the pumpkin a little more, see the stripes of the pumpkin so that it just didn't get lost in the background. And I find even when I try to kind of pre-plan out my designs, I even run into some of these hiccups along the way. And you kind of learn, like this is you trying to experiment with a nail design idea and you learn from it, and sometimes you change it the next time you do it. All right, so here you see me grabbing the candy carving gel, and I wanted this pumpkin to pop out a little bit more, but I didn't want it to be like a huge charm or something like that. I just wanted there to be a slight raised aspect to it. And the candy carving gel allows you to do that. And I just take a brush to smooth it out so that it's not lumpy and that it glides down smoothly to the free edge. And it looked so cool when it was done, but I cured it for 60 seconds and then of course top coated it. The final thing I wanted to add to the ring finger was some cute little silver hearts, and these are from a set that I picked up. There was ones that were like an AB finish that was really sparkly, and then these ones that are just like a solid shiny silver, and they're plastic, but they are just so adorable. To adhere them to the nail, I grabbed some of the MAC Art Rhinestone glue, I think they call it gem glue, and I grabbed my brush and I just drew a little arc above the coffee cup because coffee is well loved. And so I took a wax pencil and then I carefully arranged these little hearts along that arch and then cured it for 60 seconds. For me, there's just something about having a nice warm cup of coffee in the morning, especially when the weather gets cooler out. And when you combine that with the smells and the spices of pumpkin spice, it's just so soothing and so comforting. So I don't know if you have something that's a comfort food or a go-to that you want to cozy up to in the fall, but this is it for me. I had decided that with this set of nails, I didn't want to go with any really large bulky charms, so this was pretty much the highlight here, and then I glossy top coated it. And I'm going to take a moment just to kind of promote the nail haul videos that I mentioned previously. They are out there, they're posted, check them out. There's a lot of really cool items in them, and I try to include the links in my description box for all the items that you see. I personally love watching nail haul videos from other nail creators, so if you don't want to miss mine, subscribe, and that way you will not be out of the loop. Sometimes the items run out, so the sooner you see the video, the better chance you'll have at grabbing some for yourself. And here we are, the final product. This set of nails is so iconic of that pumpkin spice season, and I just thought that the little embellishments and the little added glitter here and there really adds some pizzazz to this fun fall set. The combination of the stickers and then the different techniques with the glitter and the candy carving gel really brought it all together. Let's take a look. Be sure to leave a comment and like, and don't forget to follow. And thank you again for joining me today. It was so much fun. And as always, be courageous and be clever like a fox, my friends.